Tippy Tailor Jamie's Top Cat here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering the Battlegrounds Psiops craftable weapons, what I'm going to be putting on them, and just maybe take a look at a few other suggestions. We can farm them fairly easily by getting these terrain locks, and then you can just buy the red borders from here. I will link a description below for an easy way to farm these. First up, a bit of a disclaimer. A lot of these roles might not be what you might like, but I am looking for uniqueness in my weapons, something that I haven't previously gotten, so I'm looking for something a little bit different, and that's what crafting weapons is all about, trying to find something different, unique to play with. Feel free to comment down below and chuck us a like if you like the content. First up, we're going to take a look at the Sweet Sorrow. I have +10 on the handling / masterwork box. We are going to be running arrowhead break. I'm going to run Accuros runs, push that range out a little bit. We have pulse monitor, auto loading, triple tap, perpetual motion, killing wind, but I will be going with stats rule perk. For the second traits, we have turnabout, tap the trigger, demolitionist, focus fury, one for all, and vorpal. I'm going to be going for one for all, appears well with stats for all. So run again, handling masterwork, arrowhead break, Accuros rounds, stats for all, and one for all. Land tank of course, as it's intrinsic, and we will be chucking counterbalance mod on this. This is going to give us a perfect 100 recoil direction. You can see here it's just great for just spraying multiple adds that come down at you, giving you that increase for range, reload, handling, stability, the whole 9 yards, plus the damage boost that comes with it. This will be a great choice for any match game activity that won't allow me to use my funnel web. Next up, we had the Peace of Mind Kinetic Pulse Rifle. I'm running Stability Masterwork, Arrowhead Break, Ricochet Rounds, Perpetual Motion, and Moving Target. Whilst there are many great options for this thing, I've kind of just gone for like a workhorse build, one that just feels generally comfortable, not too gimmicky in terms of things like adrenaline junkie or anything. I just want it to do what it does well. It has an 88 recoil on the setup that I have. You can chuck a counterbalance mod on it to get it to that 100, but I found I favoured the full auto. But this thing already has pinpoint precision, great range, great handling, great stability, and I would highly recommend giving this role a go. Next up is the Recurrent Impact. Stability, stability, and stability is the name of the game for this thing, as they do like to jump around, being rapid fire. I'm running Subsistence and Headstone, as it is our first stasis LMG, and that's what we want to use it for, just busting heads, mowing down adds. Whilst this weapon does have a ton of great perks, I still feel that LMGs are in a little bit of a weird place here inside the game. Until we have stasis shields, we're not going to really be using them all too much, but I do have one because I do like the LMGs. I generally use them for breaking shields and just mowing down harder adds inside of nightfalls and gems and things like that, but until we have stasis shields, they're not really going to be used all too often. So this is probably one of the ones I would craft last, but I would still say it's great to have in your vault for when the time comes. This bow, on the other hand, is really good. Under your skin, I'm using elastic string, compact, and quick access sling, archer's tempo, and successful warm-up. This gives it that kind of harsh feeling, and it's truly amazing. My second one, however, still has the compact arrow, elastic string, and quick access sling, but for my traits, I've gone for hipfire grip and adaptive munitions. I find this a little bit better in terms of general PvE activities. It just makes it a little bit easier, particularly when you're running volatile rounds. I'm not always ADSing with it, I'm just often hip firing, as the volatile rounds is what's doing the bulk of the damage. And then being that Void 3.0 and volatile rounds is so much fun, you just want to be able to run a lot of Void, so I got adaptive munitions so I can break solar shields and arc shields with relative ease, and on both of these I'm running a reload masterwork. Next up we have the Explosive Personality. This thing is very good, and I will be making this for a lot of in-game activities. I'm actually going to be using Genesis and One for All here. I know there are some other great perks, particularly like auto-loading, which we normally run on GLs, but I like the interaction that it has with breaking shields, and that's primarily what I'm going to be doing with this thing, particularly with One for All. I'm going to be chucking it at a bunch of frozen targets and break their shield and have that round automatically reloaded, not just reloaded, refunded, because I'm breaking shields. We'll be running quick access sling on this, as it's a good flick 2 weapon. I plan on using this an awful lot this season, being that we will be facing a lot of Scorn and their solar shields. Primarily one of the reasons I went with Genesis is we will be using this inside the master level raid, and there are a bunch of Scorns in there that I foresee being a trouble when it is higher level content. And of course there is the arc wayframe that comes from inside the Vow raid, so we wanted to have a slightly different utility GL for this reason. And One for All I quite like with this thing. Lastly, we have the Thoughtless Sniper rifle. This is stasis. We're using this primarily for boss damage and doing some damage tests. I've gotten comparable numbers to the Izanagi's Burden, which is extremely good, as this thing is extremely easy to put onto might with, being that we can make stasis crystals reasonably easy, particularly on our Titan. But overblow, firing line, this is going to be great for damage in any regards. Anyway guys, those are the weapons that I've crafted thus far. I of course will be making others as the PvE kind of wears out. I will get back into PvP and then I'll probably make some different weapons with those. Anyway guys, that's the end of the vid. If you enjoyed, please smash that like, chuck us a comment if you have anything to say, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.
He's the most tip-top.